My name is Brent Milam. I am a composer and performer. I've taught at Georgia State music theory and composition for 15 years. I came to Georgia State a long time ago to get my master's in composition over 3 years. And when I was done with my master's in composition, again, 16 years ago I was done, the department contacted me and asked me if I'd come back and teach theory. And that was a nice job offer, and so I took it. I was 6 years old. No one in my family are musicians. I don't know if I loved music before that point. I have no idea. But I was 6 years old. I was in kindergarten or first grade, I don't remember, in elementary school. I lived in Dallas, and the Dallas Independent School District had a field trip where they took all the students to see the Dallas Symphony Orchestra rehearse. It was on the front row of the balcony. And I can tell you about that concert. I mean, I don't remember it well. It's obviously a long time ago. But that was transformative for me, sitting there. And I wasn't educated in these things. So I thought the conductor was telling the performers what to do by how they conducted. And I had never seen instruments like that, and I fell in love with it. And so right there, I told my parents I wanted to do the conducting. But what I meant is I wanted to write down what they were playing. I wanted to do the composing. So after Beethoven, I discovered Tchaikovsky's Sixth Symphony in my father's record collection. That was amazing. In my sister's record collection, I stole a tape of Elvis from her and a Queen album that she had in her collection that I listened to all the time. It was the 1970s. In fourth grade, my best friend, I went over to his house. I just met him that year, and he played me the Beatles, particularly the song I Am the Walrus, which again explodes my little mind. And that was incredible. And then shortly after that, he introduced me to Billy Joel. When I got to high school, my band director in high school introduced me to jazz. Charlie Parker, Charlie Mingus in particular were two of the ones who just really changed my conception. And in the classical world, Charles Ives and 20th century composers. He introduced me, he made me a cassette tape of that. So I had these, I was always trying to get better at music, but I had these wonderful experiences of these, epiphanies of hearing Charlie Parker for the first time and being, again, this is an incredible, incredible thing. At 16 years old, I then wanted to be a jazz player. And so I took a jazz improvisation workshop at the University of Texas. It was a week or 2 week long thing. And in that, we had theory classes and stuff. And that's the first time I learned what music theory was. And I just fell in love with it immediately. I went to University of Texas at Arlington for my chemistry degree. And when I did that, the music building was right nearby. And so I spent as much time in the music building. I played in the jazz band. I played in small jazz ensembles. I took theory classes, and if I wasn't signed up for them, I just went and sat in the classes on the teacher's permission and studied that stuff. So, that's really where it all came from and how that passion grew. And when I got to University of Texas, is the first time I was in an environment where I had people who knew and understood music who could then feed me what I'd been looking for years. So that's kind of how, and then from there on, it was that. So what I really enjoy about teaching very much is that teaching forces you, if you're going to be a good one of any caliber, to get better at the things that you're doing. So again, I said I love talking about music every day. I love studying music every day. But teaching also means other people are relying on me. They're looking at me for these things. And they should be able to trust me. I love the moment when I'm teaching that students don't suspect what structure is inherent in music. And as we're talking about it, explaining it, that aha, that wonder of them going, and then they suddenly get it. That's an incredibly magical experience that I love when people can then see how to make those connections of the underlying structure. And it's just so eye-opening. And that's also a huge reward for me, not just keeping my own skills sharp, but that moment when people start to really appreciate music for what it is, as opposed to just their likes and dislikes, but what it really has inherent in it and how that contributes to culture or beyond or whatever else. It's such a beautiful aspect as people understand it at a much deeper level. Teaching them skills that beyond this, they can teach themselves theory. They can teach themselves history because they understand the context and they've learned these critical thinking skills to dig in. That's very important to me. A second thing is discipline and hard work. All the fundamentals that you're learning are about removing those speed bumps. So there's an immediate connection between your artistic mind and the expression that you're giving it out the other side. And I would love for them to learn that, get a really deep appreciation, respect, and wonder for all of art and what art is, and then have that serious approach to take themselves seriously and others seriously and approach art in that way. Well, always composition. I always have many pieces in the works. I'm the artistic director and founder of the Terminus Ensemble of Contemporary Music, and the co-founder and director of the SoundNOW New Music Festival. And I really do enjoy curating concerts, that musical experience. And so we have some plan for the future. I won't give dates, but that's always something in the future. Like what is the next Terminus concert? What are we going to do? How are we going to play with the lighting? Where are the musicians going to move? I enjoy that very much.